Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRD. And I'm Brian Winnikins on this Friday morning as we continue our look at the Wisconsin dairy industry, specifically our host families for our area dairy breakfasts. And tomorrow is the Pepin County Town and Country Dairy Breakfast at the Koller Farms. And all this week we've been talking about the Koller family farm and some of the things they do on the farm to help protect the cows, the milk, the soil, the water, and more. And right now we're going to talk with Marissa about the dairy breakfast tomorrow. And again, thank you to Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin for supporting our broadcast. Well, Marissa, you're kind of like, the family's been on the Pepin County Dairy Promotions Committee for as long as I've known you. You in 2020 came up with this great idea of a drive-through dairy breakfast, which I just thought was great during the COVID thing. So what are some of the things that you've really liked about being on the Dairy Promotions Committee?
I think it's just a sense of community in working with each other to promote dairy, and also understanding that we are helping the people in our community promote their product. And so just that sense of community, I think.
Was that something you always wanted to do, or were you encouraged by your mom and dad?
Didn't really have a choice when I was little.
Encouraged by mom and dad. We'll call it that. We'll just call it that. Okay, so what are some of the things that we're going to be able to do tomorrow at the breakfast?
Yeah, so obviously enjoy a dairy-filled dairy breakfast. We'll have pancakes made with milk. You'll have sausage, cheese curds, yogurt, milk, juice. You can get a nice ice cream cone or ice cream in a dish. We'll have fried cheese curds, deep-fried cheese curds. Those go over very well. So a really nice meal. You'll also be able to see the cows out in the pasture. You'll be able to potentially walk through the barn. We will have a bunch of things for the kids to be doing. So they can be playing in a bouncy house. They can be playing the 4-H games. We will have... What else?
Well, you also going to... You guys obviously will be here, but to answer questions about the farm. But a lot of the things we talked about, you're going to have some learning stations about that too, right?
Yep, there will be a walking tour available. So at different spots on the farm, John talked about the agronomist. John talked about the nutritionist. So we'll have different people that are huge parts and resources for our farm available on the farm to answer questions that people may have as they walk around the farm tomorrow.
Talking with Marissa Koller. She's the daughter of Randy and Karma Koller, owners of Koller Farms, this year's hosts for the Pepin County Town and Country Dairy Breakfast going on tomorrow. Now I have to ask, growing up, what was your chore here on the farm growing up as a kid?
Milking the cows and washing the exterior of the pipeline. Nobody else wanted to do it. Nobody else still wants to do it.
So you still have to do that now?
I still do it probably 3-4 times a year, washing the exterior of the pipeline.
Now, I never asked your brother this, but he was in the background. He said you did nothing. Well, what did he do when you were growing up?
Drove a lot of tractor.
Oh, okay. Now, so you didn't do like the calf feeding and taking care of, you had, or did you have to do that too, that gets dumped onto you?
Yeah, that was part of it too. I think we all had our roles when it was haying season. Everybody pitched in to get the crop down, to bale the hay, to unload it, mow it. And when chore time came around, someone had to milk the cows. And the calves always have to be fed too. So everybody had their part. When mom and dad were on vacation, John and I might chip together to do the chores together. And so you just make it all happen. And then we have a wonderful support also, Tony Hansen. And
I'm going to say, I'm going to jump in, because the minute you said, well, when mom and dad were on vacation, John and I, we just worked together. Now I know why Tony's the helper, because, come on, let's be honest. Tony was the referee.
Well, when we were little, and I mean little as in middle school, high school, there were a lot of times that we did the chores on our own. Now I don't live on the farm anymore. I live quite a ways away, so I'm not as involved in the milking as I once was. And so there's a huge support system behind the family as well that helps get the job done.
Well, you don't help with milking, though. You do help at harvest, because I've ridden with your brother because your grandfather's fields are by my house, and I've been able to ride with him during harvest time. And you're right out there driving grain cart, aren't you?
End of October is the rut for deer hunting, but it's also prime time to harvest grain. So I'm on call whenever I need to run grain cart or just drive gravity boxes to the co-op. My husband and I also farm now, so it's all hands on deck during hay season. It's all hands on deck during harvest, and we got to get the crop off. We got to get the job done.
That's great. Now, by the way, tomorrow's Pepin County Town and Country Dairy Breakfast is a free will donation. And Dairy Promotion Committee's always been really adamant to keep it a free will donation, haven't you?
Yes, we have. And we wouldn't be able to do it without the support of our local businesses, the other local dairy farmers, and just dairy supporters in general. So we try to keep it the free will donation. It's how we've always operated. We kind of take pride in that, and we just really are appreciative for the local businesses that help support and give us donations.
So again, come on out tomorrow to the Koller Farms. Everything gets underway 6:30, just off of Highway 85. It's the Pepin County Town and Country Dairy Breakfast. With those of you watching on YouTube, with everybody behind me and Marissa too. And you may have seen even the dogs as well. The dogs will be here as well. Again, thank you to Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin for supporting our spotlight on Wisconsin's dairy farm families. This is WRDN.